True revolution starts in the heart. Believe, love, and take action. And this quote addresses one of the main reasons I created Hippie-Fari, the beautiful life-changing message of reggae music. It was created for social change, and its message is as strong today as it was in the 60s when the first reggae records were released in Jamaica. So welcome to another episode of Hippie-Fari Reggae Radio and Podcast, recorded live in the Omen Honey Reggae Radio and Media Studios in the beautiful Ocala National Forest in Florida. I am your host, Scotty the High-Strung Hippie, and Hippie-Fari is that podcast where we discuss all things reggae. So if reggae music is your thing, you're in the right place. And I'd like to invite and ask everyone to go to change.org and sign the petition to reopen the Peter Tosh murder case. Go to change.org. There'll be a lot of information that will completely blow your mind. This needs to be done. It's something that weighs heavy on my heart, and it's brought forth to you by Mr. Henry K. So just go ahead and head on over there, and please sign that petition, change.org. And also a massive shout-out, rest in power to Sly Dunbar of Sly and Robbie. He passed away on the 16th, so much love to the elders. And a happy 9th wedding anniversary to my beautiful wife, Kira, the Irie Empress. Tomorrow we celebrate 9 years. I love you, baby doll. Now, there's a sound that travels farther than radio waves. A rhythm that doesn't just move bodies, but moves people. It's a music born out of resistance, faith, and truth. A music that has always carried messages of unity, justice, and inner liberation. And today we're reasoning with two builders of modern reggae ecosystem. Two people who aren't just talking about culture, but actively shaping it. From artist development and conscious promotion to grassroots festivals, independent stages, and community first media, these folks are doing the real work behind the scenes to keep reggae honest, alive, and evolving. One is a connector focused on amplifying authentic voices through integrity, strategy, and purpose, and the other is a producer, grounding unity through lives experience, shared space, and human connection. And together they represent a movement rooted in sound, service, and solidarity. So family, today we're going to welcome Rich Wilson, also known as Rebel Rich, and Brandon Kish, co-founders of Rebel Sounds Rising. And I was actually going to name the podcast Rebel Fari, but I went with Hippie-Fari instead, which is just as cool. I think they both kind of have the same message. But gentlemen, welcome to the show. What's going on, man? Or men?
Thanks for having us.
What's up? Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks.
Yes, always, man. 100% pleasure to have you on the show. It was absolutely beautiful. I reached out to you guys, and you were like, hell yeah, we'll do it. So I was like, that's always a great thing, man. So thank you guys so much for showing up and definitely showing out, man. So once again, pleasure to have you on the show.
Pleasure
so
to be here.
Absolutely. For both of you guys, man, could you kind of just, and when I ask a question, if it's geared for one person, if you both have an answer, by all means, answer. I have no time limits on the show. There's no, it's
Right on.
basically, it's free form. It's open platform. So let's do this shit. Let's do it right, man. Kind of take us back to the beginning, man. For both of you, what was your personal entry point into reggae and specifically conscious style music?
So this is gonna be a question for Rich. He's kind of the starting point for both of us, really. In this.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've been music people our whole lives, man. Brandon and I have we were making hip hop together back in the mid '90s. We've been friends a long time, and then kind of about 10 years ago we went our own way in life. And so what introduced me to reggae was in 2011. My buddy got tickets for Sublime with Rome and 311 show down in Virginia.
Right on.
And at that point in time, I was listening to a lot of like rock, new rock, and hip hop, like Breaking Benjamin, Linkin Park, 3 Days Grace, just a lot of angry music, and couldn't figure out why I was so angry. You know what I mean? So my buddy gets tickets, and he's like, "Yo, come to this show." So we're like, "All right." So hit up the show, and it literally changed my life, man. It was Sublime with Rome, and people have a lot of hate, and there's a lot of controversy behind Rome Ramirez, but like he's what brought me to this music, and he's what brought me here. Growing up, I knew Sublime. I knew who 311 was just because of the radio play, but we grew up in Northeast Pennsylvania, so we didn't have, we didn't get the reach that a lot of people did. So it took us a long time to actually get involved, like to sit down and listen to the music. But when it grabbed hold of me, it changed my life. And
Yeah, absolutely.
then about 10 years ago, I moved to the Lehigh Valley, and through Facebook, through fan pages of Slightly Stupid, the Dirty Heads, I met people through networking, and I met this dude named Sammy Winslow, and he was starting this organization called East Rock Roots, which was just a music promotion family. And I got involved with that with him, and he kind of had he showed me the ins and out of promotion and the media part, and just getting behind the scenes of, and there was more to the music than just the mainstream, just Sublime, just Slightly Stupid, just Tribal Seeds, just, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So then I got turned on to artists such as like Treehouse, and and The Movement is my all-time favorite band, and the Elevators are homies, you know.
Yes.
So like
Elevators are great.
I met those guys, Mike Pinto, face to face, and they were my first relationships in music that I built. Then got involved in One Earth Reggae Fest, and started to build a nice solid network through One Earth Reggae Fest. And then I reached out to Brandon and told him my plan about Rebel Sounds Rising, and it was just the right time.
So he did reach out prior to that. I think probably when you were starting East Rock Roots.
Right.
I think you reached out to me and you said, "Yo, I've got some opportunities in music." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm so busy. Really, I'm working so much." I was like, "Not right now." But then he went and started Rebel Sounds Rising then, and it was that, and really that was my introduction into deeper, like you said, beyond the mainstream stuff, beyond the 311s, beyond the Bob Marleys. Like, that's what I knew about reggae at that point. Sure. When you came to me, but I was also miserable. So,
I came to Brandon. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I came to Brandon for a specific reason. Like, we had this history of friendship together. We've battled our demons together. We've made music together in the past, and I knew that he was a solid individual, and I knew that I could trust him. And you know what I mean. So. I came to him with this solid, this plan. It wasn't a solid plan, but it was a plan.
Right. That's okay.
Go ahead, Brandon.
But yeah, so at that point, he said, "Look, I have a lot of I'm getting some connections in reggae, and we could really have some cool experiences, put on some cool shows." So I started digging into some of the bands he introduced me to, and I'm like, wow, I really like this. And then, especially once I found more of the culture side of it, the roots and culture side, like the rebellious attitude, like it's me. That's who I've always been. Like, that feels like home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Rich has been saying it for a while. Reggae music saved my life, and I've kind of adopted that as well, because it fits so well. It feels like a sense of purpose, and it gives definition, because I look around, and I know I don't want to talk politics too much, but I look around and the world is just terrible. It's crazy.
Sure.
Right now.
You're exactly right, man. Yes.
And we just need, unity moving forward, and that's what reggae, the roots and the culture is about. Unity through struggle and trying to make the best of it while we stand up for ourselves.
Right.
Yes, 100%. That's what I always say. The message of reggae is just as strong today as it was when the first reggae records were released in Jamaica in the 1960s. And some of my favorite reggae music is, that mid 70s, where like early to mid 70s, where it started to it went from the the rock steady and the ska into the reggae and talk about the love and all, but then it started to get really like rebellious, and they started to talk about social change and bringing in the real conscious lyrics, and that's an amazing thing, because I've looked around, like, reggae music was started for revolution, you know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't, that's revolution for all people, you know what I mean? No matter what you're going through, you know what I mean? It's for people to stand up and, fight. Doesn't necessarily have to be violent, but, you know what I mean? It just stand up and, social justice, you know what I mean? Like, justice for all, love for all, you know what I mean? That's such a beautiful thing.
The music's so powerful. I mean,
it is.
Like, look at the Smile Jamaica that Bob Marley put on. I mean, he unified a politically war-torn country. If not, at least for that moment, everybody, including the enemies, were unified through the sound, through music, and that's how powerful reggae music is.
That's right.
And it's funny too because it goes beyond just that political and social side. Then you get into like the audio side of it. There's something different about that bubble skank
Yes,
combo.
amen.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful, man. Right on. So, to Rich, like, what experiences shaped your belief in the power of reggae music as just more than entertainment? I know you went into, when you first saw, the show that you saw us by my Rome at 311, but was there like an actual experience that kind of, because I have a belief in the power of reggae as more than entertainment. Was there a specific experience where you were like, this is not just music, this is a fucking way of life, man?
Yeah, actually, so starting East Rock Roots, back when we were putting that together, Sammy Winslow and we built a venue in his backyard. Like, we built this big stage that wraps around the tree called the Treehouse Stage up on the mountain, on South Mountain in Allentown. And, like, this big deck and a bar. Like, we built an outside music venue. And back in, like, 2018, 2019, we did our first East Rock Roots Spring Jam Fest there. And we had Mike Pinto, L&J Sessions, Trouble City All-Stars.
Nice.
And then some local bands, Ill Rendition, Groove Merchants. And it was the first show that I was ever involved in that was very personal. And, like, it was the first event that I was ever at that had children present at it. And just sitting there and like, watching everybody just for that moment was all on the same wavelength, all feeling the same way. And that's when I realized that it's more than just music. Like, this, it's a feeling, it's a culture. It's so powerful that it can it changes your moods. It changes, if you can't be angry, you can't be in a bad mood with a reggae song. You just can't.
That's right.
And there's not much music that really could do that. You know what I mean? It's that offbeat snare, that skank,
that one
bubble,
drop, baby.
One drop. When they kick, it's just. Man, it's just a feeling, and when you feel it, it's you know what I can compare it to, back in the late '90s, the first time I tried ecstasy.
Yes. Oh, I was a big raver, bro.
Right. The first time from in the late '90s, the first time I tried ecstasy, and that was. That moment, that experience, and like I was just drinking some beer and smoking some weed, but I compare it to that because it was that feeling, and then knowing that you organize something that is making so many people happy. That's what keeps you doing it, because it's damn sure not about money.
Right. Now you got me thinking about purple Smurfs and green RNs and white clouds and
back when they were real, man.
Man. Triple stack. That's so funny, man. That's funny you brought that up, dude. Yeah, absolutely. That's phenomenal. So, Brandon, how did your background in community building and youth coaching influence the way that you approach music and events?
I think it takes, you kind of look at things from, because like, especially when you're coaching children, you can't be a prick, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think it taught me a lot about being more focused on the needs of the person rather than, and I take this to work with me every day, like rather than be the corporate stooge they want me to be all day, I'm focused on what do the employees need, what's going to be good for the employees, what's going to be good for the kids, what's going to be good for the musical artists. And I think Rebel Sounds Rising has really embraced that approach, oftentimes to a fault, because we've taken losses really
Bad
on
losses.
stuff. Yeah.
Right, heard.
But at the end of the day, these things were good for the artists, so we really wanted, at the end of the day, that's what we do. Like, we're here to help the artists build and at the same time grow ourselves by doing so, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
And I think it's worked really well. I do, because we've got such great relationships with so many people from Mighty Mystic, and we're even stepping on.
Yeah,
Hector
shout out
Root.
Mighty.
Hector
Love
Roots
Mighty.
is a homie now.
Yeah,
Like,
Hector
I mean,
Roots Lewis, man. His shout out. I loved when he covered for Tribal Seeds, man. It was definitely different not having Steven Jacobo, but he really fucking nailed it, bro.
He's so
God.
good. And then seeing him in the Marley One Love movie too.
Yeah. Oh wow. Right. No kidding. Me and my wife were first in line the opening day of that movie. We were at our theater. You know what I mean? We were the first line. I just couldn't wait to see it, man. I was completely blown away. They from what I know, historically speaking, they actually did a really damn good job in that movie. And I know the Marley family said the guy that that played Bob, like they were like he just nailed it. You know what I mean? Like did just such a phenomenal job. Like covering that stuff.
My only disappointment is I wish it was longer because there's just
me
so
too.
much. Yeah,
I know. Like when they ended, I was like, God, they could have just expanded, bro.
I feel like they covered like 2 minutes of his life, and it was about it.
I feel like they made him a little too beautiful too. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
sure. Yeah, because he was. When he kicked that guy's ass, so I was like, that shows the. But you know what's funny, man? I know Bob Marley always drove BMWs, and I thought it was amazing. BMW, Bob Marley, and the Wailers. I thought that was always really cool, man.
That's pretty cool. I wonder if that's that strong
I never
connection
thought
to
about
Britain.
that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I guess BMWs were big in Jamaica. I guess they were cheaper anyway. But he drove the BMW, and I was like, BMW, Bob Marley and the Wailers. Get the hell out of here. I wonder if that's where he came up with it. That's so awesome, man. Yeah, right. So, Rich, man, Rebel Sounds Rising is not just a promo company. So what problem were you trying to solve when you helped create it? Was there any issues you saw? You're like, we need something bigger than just, there's promo companies all over the place, man. So, I mean, was there like an issue where you're like, Rebel Sound Rising is going to go after this and we're going to do it? You know what I'm saying?
Can I answer this for you, Rich?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rich was like, I need to have concerts that my wife will let me go to. So
Nice. That's funny.
So, yeah, I started Rebel Sounds Rising so my wife would let me have a concert every weekend.
That's great. That's a beautiful thing, man.
No, for real, it was the way the music made me feel is what made me really want to start Rebel Sounds Rising and to get this music out there, and I seen how hard these artists were working, and they were not getting enough recognition, or there was or there were gatekeeping promoters, and just there was so much talent that just did not have a stage or a platform, and
right.
I wanted to give a platform for these artists so they could get that message out there, so they could help people feel good.
Right. So when you say amplifying real voices, what does real mean to you in today's music landscape? Because I could answer that question for you too myself.
I mean,
but.
listen, one thing I've always believed in is artists should be able to own their music, and it's their voice. They should be able to speak from their heart and speak and put their experiences and just be real, be conscious, have something to say. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have a platform, and you're given this gift of this powerful music.
Right.
Don't dilute it with just nonsense lyrics.
Amen. Amen.
And that's what it is. We want to hear real conscious music.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because there's enough negativity out in the world. We need to protect. You know what I mean? We need to protect our sanity, and that's what this music does.
I know exactly what you're saying, and I mean, maybe I've pissed some people off on the podcast, but I've said that a couple of times, especially with Jay Cantor from Street Level Uprising. It's like you have a platform with a music genre or style, or I wouldn't even call it a genre or a style. It's a fucking music revolution that has the ability to change the world and lives. It's like, please use that platform to say something, positive or, you know what I'm saying. But once again, it's not really up to me what other people say, and, more power to you. But you know, it's like you've been given this this beautiful platform, you know, and do it. So Brandon, man,
Yeah.
from booking pipelines to stage management, you're deep into logistics, bro. How important is infrastructure to sustaining authentic music culture?
So I wish I could say we had a bunch of infrastructure,
Right.
but we're kind of just winging it a lot of times.
You're doing a great job. Yeah, man.
We've been doing a much better job this last 6 months or so at getting
Right.
organized and really thinking about this like a business and
Sure.
something where we could grow and reach more and more people.
Right.
When we first started, I mean, we just booked shows just to try
Yeah.
to make a name for ourselves, and I mean, and we
And
did.
get
But we
artists
worked
paid
very,
and get
very
some
hard.
money in artist pocket. You know,
Sure,
we
yeah,
made
yeah,
sure
amen.
that happened. We made sure
Yeah,
that
I mean, we
happened.
took some L's, but we were the worst. We worked very hard. Like every week, we were booking a show, and I mean, and don't get me wrong, that was necessary because we decided to. We didn't even decide to minimize costs. We just had to do everything ourselves. We had to promote all our shows ourselves. We had to do all our own sound. So our infrastructure is basically the equipment we bought to be able to do it ourselves. So I would say that was
Right.
I guess I could change my answer. That's very important for us.
Right.
Because that
Yes.
gave us the ability to do our own shows versus.
Right.
And then not only that, I got so much knowledge these last 3 years or 2 years. And then we had like people like Danny Rebel in the KGB, their sound tech on the road with us, teaching me
Right.
things along the way. So yeah, it was pretty important for us in this role.
Yeah, and then it's funny you say you don't have infrastructure, but when you think about it, I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
make
as a
solid
podcast, I think I maybe don't, but my wife handles all of it. But then I'm like, you know, you got the emails, we got the website, we got the newsletter, we got this, we got a YouTube, we're on sound, and it's like, wow, I guess I have a little bit more than I thought. And then you're like, how the hell do you keep up? You know what I mean? Like, and then you're like,
Right.
we need people. We
Yep.
need people.
Yeah, and we did bring in one person, Vanessa Cubano. Shout out, she is amazing. She's awesome at her job. Great as far
That's
as
great.
project management, things like that.
That's important.
We have-
She
we have
also
some- we have some-
we were hanging out with her backstage with elevators the other day. She actually is friends with one of the elevators and took me back on the tour bus, which was kind of
Oh,
cool.
nice.
So
That's
on the
great.
tour bus.
That's always
We got
fun.
PS5 in there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
we have a solid group of people that are there, a support system, people that are there, like if we need
Yeah.
them, they're there to help us, because everybody understands what we're doing and everybody's willing to build with us because they
Yeah.
see what we see.
damn right. Well, you got Hippie-Fari too, baby. I mean, yeah.
I love that.
Yes,
and then
yeah.
shout out to Wagwan culture too, because like Delroy's becoming kind of a mentor or to Rebel Sounds
Yes,
Rising
yeah.
in a way. He's
That's
been
beautiful.
teaching me everything he knows.
That's great. And shout out to you know, John and Matt Link from the elevators. They're just
Yes, that's
fine
who we were with.
individuals, man.
So we went to Doom. I met Vanessa and Maddie over at Doom to just to have dinner before the show.
That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
It was pretty cool.
That's so cool, man. Yeah, they're fantastic guys. They actually live, from what I've seen, every single time I've run into them, like off stage, they live what they preach. You know, they're just
Yeah, they're
really
great guys.
fucking
they're awesome,
nice
dude.
people, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're the epitome of just amazing people. So, now, Brandon, I'll follow up with that. Do you think reggae still holds the same unifying power today? Even though it's like blended with hip hop and alternative and modern sounds, do you think that's kind of progressing the unity because it's branching out into all those different types of music? I mean, it always has, but now it's like reggae, I think, is in like every genre of music.
It really is, and I do.
Yeah.
Think, I think it has probably more power than it ever
Right.
did.
Beautiful.
I know there are versions of it that kind of get the message kind of gets a little watered down, but even then you're appealing to other people who are coming in and then hearing the message through the other bands at the same festivals and things like
Right.
that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I think as long as we're getting people to hear it, the message can be, especially in today's climate vote.
Yeah, bro.
Across the entire world. I mean, the entire world seems to be in shambles at times. And,
yeah, I mean, there's protests going all over the place. Spain, France, here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The United States, man. People are just... But I think that's, I talk to my wife about that all the time, and, we talk about conscious revolution versus violent revolution, and the need for conscious revolution more so. And I literally think that it's like there's an awakening happening, man. And I think the protests and all that kind of stuff are happening but across the world, I mean, I literally think people are waking the fuck up, and they're like, it's not just an America thing, it's not just a dictator thing, it's not just a socialist thing or whatever. It's there's just some shit going on that we're not happy with, and I think people are finally like, we are tired of it. You know what I mean? And I think the reggae music is that beautiful vessel. It's message is coming through. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's absolutely amazing, man. I get so stoked about it when I talk about it. 'Cause I'm a child of revolution. I was in Greenpeace when I was 11. You know, I've always been about for struggle and equality, beautiful things like that. But Brandon, now you've managed stages at Lions Heart Music Festival, International Cultural Festival of Allentown, One Earth Reggae Fest. What's something the audience never sees that makes or breaks a show?
So what don't they see? So they don't see us wondering why they're not here for sound check.
Right.
Why it's 15 minutes before the show starts and the keyboard player's still not here. We were supposed to start sound check 45 minutes ago.
Right. Yes.
Of
course.
They don't see they don't see all the work that goes into
it's not
setting
just
the right
play.
lineup.
Right,
You gotta even have the right combination of bands to make a good night. Otherwise, it's just a weird night. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, as far as the stage management, it's a lot of times about herding people into the correct areas. Like, where is he? Where is this guy? Why is this guy not over here? Rich, you did a lot of stage management too.
Yeah.
So how do you guys keep those artists' energy? Like keep the artists energetically going and logistically going in something that's moving that fast. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people would be like, "This is moving too fucking quick. I can't deal with this." Like, how do you know what I mean? Because that's intense. You know what I mean? Like, how do you pull that one off?
I'm energetic about it. Like we have we have people. It's like people are drawn to our personalities and our energy. Yeah. And because we're out there and we're happy. We want everybody else to feel the same way we do. And it's just being able to have the trust and people to be able to trust you and have your be able to listen to you and keep their attention so they know where they're going on stage. And
right. Yes, absolutely.
So it's just what it really comes down to is being able to have good relationships with everybody that's involved, keeping artists. When we're putting lineups together, we're really good at matching the style of music. Artists that we think will work together, and ultimately, a lot of times the lineups that we put together end up being collaborations on albums or videos or even extra festivals. So like it's we practice what we preach. We what I mean? We just treat everybody the way we want to be treated. We go above and beyond. I mean, and because of that, we get the respect and you know what I mean?
I think something the audience doesn't see too is like the panic moments, like when you're like, why am I not getting any sound from this microphone? And
right.
You're like, what is going on? It was fun during sound check, and then you start checking cables, and you have no idea.
Why is Luton Fire's mic cutting out when he turns his head to the left?
Shout out Luton Fire, I love him, man.
Batteries.
We did that. Like we had him hooked up to a wireless. Yeah. PSA: Don't use cheap batteries in your equipment.
Right. Yeah, that's funny, man. Cheap batteries, cheap outcome, right? That's funny.
Yeah.
So, Rich, from an artist development perspective, what does a good stage opportunity actually look like for an independent artist?
Listen, anytime you have an opportunity to get on a stage and speak your message is a
Right.
good opportunity.
Amen.
You know what
I like that.
mean? And if a lot more artists looked at it that way, you know, there'd be a lot more opportunity. I think everybody's out there trying
Right.
to get top dollar, you know, not trying to put the work in. So like any opportunity you get to step on a stage, you know what I mean? As long as you're not being stepped all over, you should take advantage of that. And anytime you have a crowd out in front of you, anytime there's one person there to hear your music, that one person by saying, "Hey, I heard this great artist. Check this out." You know
That's
what
right.
I mean? It's so I believe any stage is a great stage.
That's great, and what you just said makes a lot of sense because I've always said, yeah, I used to do like the EDM. I was in the rave scene. I booked, you know, we were talking about the ecstasy earlier, and I would book artists, you know. I was like, it's it's for an artist you want quality, but you also want quality crowd. So I'm like, I'd rather have 50 people that were truly into it than 5,000 people that were just there to get fucked up and didn't give a shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, all that does matter too. So that's actually that's actually a really good point. So, and I think you might have answered this already, but I'll ask it again. Just in your last question, what mistakes do artists often make when approaching festivals or promoters, for example?
Well, a lot of artists, they're expecting top dollar. They're not
Right,
a lot of
yeah.
art, you know what I mean. First and foremost, like you've been a band for a year. We're not going to give you
Right.
$1,000 with all due respect,
Yeah,
unless
yeah, sure.
there's bands out there. There's bands out there such as Algorithm that's only been around a year or two, but they're seasoned musicians. You know what I mean?
Right. So they make it sound like they've been around for 50 years. Yeah.
Right.
Know
And
your
then-
value, basically, right?
Sure.
Right. And
Absolutely, man.
I mean, and yeah, Brandon, go ahead. I lost my train of thought. My bad.
Happens to me all the time, dude.
The mistakes that I've seen bands make is not showing up for sound check. To be completely
Ah,
honest with you.
there you
That's
go.
the biggest mistake that irritates the hell out of me.
Right. Especially when you're expecting it to sound
Right.
good.
and then you show up 15 minutes before the show starts, and then you're
Right.
complaining 10 minutes into the show that you can't hear yourself. Well, you should have been here for sound check. That's
Right.
the thing that
Right.
bugs me.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, because everything takes time, man. Like good sound
And
check. Like you
promotion.
said, you find out your batteries, or your microphone's batteries are messed up during a good sound check. So what were you saying, Rich?
Another thing is a lot of times bands don't promote enough, or they won't have
Right.
their manager, and there's this disconnect between promoters and management and bands sometimes on who should be doing the promotion.
Gotcha.
And honestly, man, you're all
Everyone.
trying.
There you go.
Everybody should be doing the promotion, but
Right.
it's harder. It's harder when you're older. In an older generation, because we didn't grow up with video cameras in our hands. You know
No,
what I
man,
mean?
it was
So-
fucking
so it's
posters
really-
at the music store.
Right. So doing content creation is like really hard, and like that's you get further these days with content creation. And,
Hell yes, that's right.
And the mistake people are making is not creating content.
Right. Yeah, it's funny for my podcast. I use the program I have makes like the shorts and the reels and all that kind of stuff, but
Right.
and I use those, but I go on TikTok and I'm like, I see these fucking 15-year-old kids making shit looks like fucking aliens or flying out of space and hitting you in the face. I'm like, how in the hell did they do that? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 47. I didn't do that 90% of my life. You know what I mean?
Right.
We used to staple posters or tape posters to the inside of a coffee shop door. Like,
Draw
That
our own
was-
flyers and
Yeah,
Xerox
man.
them.
Yeah, I haven't
Yes.
put a single post on my OnlyFans.
right? I'll subscribe. How much a month? No, I'm kidding. That's awesome, man. So, to Brandon, the podcast, All My Friends Have Dreads.
Yes.
Shout out. Right, I have my podcast, my show. Shout out WTHC.
Yes,
Beautiful stuff, and what a great platform that is. You know what I mean? The
Yes,
Hippie
sir.
does this a
Shout out
really
Hippie,
good job of
absolutely.
yes. Absolutely beautiful. I actually have a punk rock show on Wednesday nights that I do called Razor Wire Radio. It's actually doing really good, man.
Awesome.
I'm surprised, but if you like street punk, hardcore punk, crust punk, and I'm talking to the freaking rip your vocal cords, 2 minute songs, like just in your face, but it's the same message as reggae. You know what I'm saying? It's the same social change message.
I'm a firm believer.
I play conscious punk.
I'm a firm believer that reggae, ska, and punk can all be on the same stage.
Yeah,
amen. So am I.
And rebel music as far
That's
as
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
In hip hop as well, to be honest.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful thing, man. But let me get to my question. I stop at the all my friends have dreads, but it blends humor with emotional intelligence. So why is like getting to like the mental health thing? Why is that such an important conversation in creative spaces?
So it's funny that most really artistic people also struggle with some sort of mental health.
I'm going to my doctor tomorrow, oddly enough.
Yeah,
straight up. And I'm not fucking ashamed of that. Not ashamed of that whatsoever.
Yeah, it blows my mind, the connection between creativity and struggling with what's going on. And I think a lot of it is it's first of all trauma, and I mean we've all had. Everyone at this point in our lives has had major trauma. I don't think you can make it to your mid-40s without some
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And even that, it's just other people in my life, not even my own mental health, but just everyone else in my life seems to be struggling most of the time. And so it really seemed like okay, music is a big part of my solution, and how can we incorporate music and mental health together and try to help as many people. And what's crazy is a lot of these things that we talk about are things that I am terrible at and I struggle with myself every day, but that's why we're talking about them, you know what I mean?
That's right. Yes.
So, yeah, it's a cause that's near and dear to me. I've lost people through addiction. Both Rich and I have struggled with addiction at points in our past.
Myself as well.
See?
Yes, 100%.
So, I mean, it's something that we just want to help people. And by helping other people, we help ourselves and vice versa. So, I mean, yeah.
And by bringing it to the forefront, by talking about it, somebody can listen and say, you know what, I'm not alone. Right. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that can be the difference. And I really have no other, like, sweet way to put this. That could be the difference from maybe somebody who was maybe suicidal or was just wanting to end it all. They hear somebody else talking about it. They're like, you know, I'm not alone. Like, I struggle with this. So do they. If they're finding a solution, I could find a solution. But, you know, when you get in your head and you're like, I'm so fucked up, you realize that, well, a lot of people are just as fucked. You know what I mean? Or it's not even fucked up. It's just a different way of looking at things that society doesn't view as normal.
Right.
And also what I think is cool is that we have access to some really creative and awesome artists. And you get to view those people as actual people with problems and stuff. So I think it's really cool to hear their perspectives on a lot of things.
100%, man. That's awesome. I love that answer.
And when we talk about mental health with artists on our show, it lets the people watching connect with those artists on a more personal level.
There you go.
And when you connect with that artist on a more personal level, you connect with their music on a more personal level.
Yeah. Yes, 100%, man. Yeah, I firmly believe that. It's kind of like listening to the music that, you know, like a band that your friend is in, you know what I mean? You're going to hear it, and it's going to sound personal. Yeah, once it becomes personal, then it becomes real. And you can actually start listening more. So I like that, man. That's beautiful. See, I love what you guys are doing, man. That's just beautiful. And there is a reason. You know what I mean? There's always a reason. That's an absolutely beautiful reason. So, Rich, man, in an industry driven by numbers and algorithms, how do you help artists stay grounded in maintaining integrity without burning the fuck out?
Because, like, First thing is, I had to realize that all of that, what I'm seeing on TV, what I'm seeing on social media, it's fake. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Those chains that the artists are wearing are not real.
Right.
Those
Yeah, no
cars that
shit.
they're driving
Right.
are rentals.
Rentals.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
100%.
houses are Airbnbs.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, like all right. So we had somebody reach out to us real recently. A hip hop artist, a dude that wants to be a hip hop artist, and the first thing he said was, "I want to get a record deal." And
Right.
and I was like, dude, listen, that's cool, but that's not, it's not as important as you feel it is. Like, it's that journey
Right.
from to get there, and you need to, it's patience. You know what I mean? In order to keep an artist like grounded, that you have to show
Right.
them patience. They have to have patience.
Right.
What blew my mind about that whole experience too was we then took the next few hours and drew up an awesome attack plan for all social medias and how to develop him as an artist and how to get him in front of people at open mics and things like that. Sent him the business plan and he didn't want any part of it. He's like, "Oh, I thought you would just like put me in a studio and
Took too much time, work,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, like,
Yeah, that.
You got to be willing to put the work in.
Well, yeah. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, but I mean, that's with anything, I mean, you don't
And-
just want a
and
house and then
material.
drive up to it and it's done.
I will say, the artists that we have been lucky enough to work with are very hard. Ellen J Sessions, Elephants Dancing, MSJR,
Yes.
Dylan Peters,
Space
Space
Camp.
Camp, Mighty Mid. They're all so
Yeah.
hardworking. P-Funk.
Yes.
North.
Right.
Oh, P-Funk North's dope.
Yeah.
They're a trip. I love it, man. Absolutely
Did I forget
beautiful
anybody?
stuff.
I hope I didn't forget anybody.
We could go. There's a
Like, you just keep
cultivated
going.
mind.
No, well,
Tony,
I have Tony on. I do the Cultivated Mondays podcast on
Yeah.
Hippie-Fari. Yeah, it's once a month. I have Cultivated Mind on. The beautiful thing about that is Tony and Cultivated Mind have enough to talk about every month to do an hour-long podcast every
Right.
month. You know what I mean? That's an amazing thing, and it just so happens that one of my all-time, and I'm not just saying, I mean, obviously it's the reason I approach him, but I mean, one of me and my wife's just straight up fucking favorite bands, bro. Like, hands down, like, top 3 no matter what across the board, because everything he comes out with is just, from his old stuff to his new stuff, just everything. It's just like, damn it, man. And then seeing him live, full band versus just him by himself.
We've done a couple shows with him, and we have a couple coming up that were.
Most of what we've done has been him by himself, though. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
He's such a badass. Yeah, I just put
We
out
got-
the
we got him coming to One Earth this year.
yes.
Is that full band or is that him by himself?
He's gonna have a backing band. He's gonna have at least 2 people behind him.
That's exciting,
Percussionist,
man.
I'm sure is going to be there.
Yeah, TC.
It was a
Fans in the West, yeah.
Yes.
Well, he actually reached out to Nevin from Unity Vibrations and Root Setters and Derry to sit in on
I love
drums
them,
and
dude. They're
keys.
so awesome.
And
Devin
so
and Derek,
so that might be happening. So,
love
That's
Unity
fantastic, man.
Vibration.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Unity Vibes on
I'm
One
excited
Earth,
about that.
So, and Cultivated Mind, like we haven't announced it, so I really shouldn't be saying it. But yeah, they're on.
Right?
One Earth.
That's nice. Yeah, I'm
only
excited
number-
about that.
It's only the second time you've done it this week for a different
Yeah, I
artist.
know.
I'm actually going to be gone. We're going to be there, too. I actually need to reach out to Oski and,
Oh, you're coming up?
Space Camp and get, not Cultivated Mind, Hippie-Fari. I was wanting to go there and, cover the event and do a nice little
Well,
Post,
dude, we got.
post-event documentary, so.
Well, we have our own stage. We have the Williamsburg stage inside, and we do a couple sets of acoustic storyteller type sets. But we also have interviews. People come on and
Yes.
we talk and interview them. So once I get the time slots, I'll hit you up. We'll figure it out, man, and you can come in and we'll do a little interview with you.
That would be fantastic, man.
I will
Yes.
say it's air conditioned inside, so
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah. This is usually
It's-
about 100
yeah.
degrees.
That's not beautiful. Yeah, I hate that. Oh, man, I hate the hot weather is just absolutely horrifying. But then again, the cold weather here. I live in the middle of Florida, man, and it's 31 degrees for the rest of this week for the next 7 days. And I work outside, man. I'm dying. I can't take
It's
it.
like
I have
a heat
heated.
wave for us right
think-
now.
I
Ugh.
think that thermometer
like
says
2?
4.
Where are you?
Philly.
Pennsylvania,
Right
Lehigh
outside
And
Philly.
it's that cold in PA though.
4
So
degrees.
so it's 11
Oh,
degrees.
it's fucking 4
Feels
degrees.
like it's the real feel is 1.
Oh
The
my
real
god.
feel right there. Look,
Real
I'm
feel is
showing
1,
it
man.
right on the camera. The real feel is
Oh, it says
1.
8?
11.
Oh, my
Real
temperature, my thermometer says 8.
That
Going
is
on my-
one, dude. There's no difference, 1 or 8 when it's that cold.
Yeah, no. We have to ask ourselves, why do we live where the weather hurts?
Even
our
if you
face?
put it together, 18. That's still just awful, man.
The worst of it is that the top layer of snow is completely frozen solid. So
Yeah,
my
ugh.
dog tries to walk through it and it like drops through and then drops through.
He was saying the top.
I'm an
And
hour
there's like
north
what,
of
like
Brandon.
7 inches of snow. I don't know how much you guys got up there.
Ugh, man.
About almost 2 feet.
Jeez. Yeah,
You're
we
supposed
wouldn't
to get
know
another
how
couple
to.
feet this week.
We
We didn't
would
get the
shut
ice
down the
that you
state.
got because we're a little bit north of Brandon. I'm a little bit north of Brandon, so I didn't get the ice that he got. But we got nailed with like
Right.
2 feet of snow. I'm right smack in the Pocono Mountains in the Lehigh Valley.
Oh wow, that's a beautiful area though, man.
Yeah, it sure is.
Absolutely gorgeous, man. It's the honeymoon capital of the world, I think.
I live by
Pocono,
Jim Thorpe, Bethlehem. I'm
Nice.
located. Yeah, I'm located pretty. Yeah, it's neat. I got multiple Appalachian trailheads minutes from my house.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I love hiking, man. I just don't know about that cold, man. I just ugh. But so this is for both of you guys. What does sustainable success look like to you? Not just financially, but I'm speaking on a spiritual and a community level.
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Reputation
Right on.
is really a lot of it because we're not making much money, but what we have done is made solid relationships and built solid foundations with people because of being
Yes.
solid people, and that is really important. It needs to be like, it's not about, I get it, like money's important, but like if you want a solid relationship, a solid business, you need to have a solid reputation, and that,
Sure.
and to me that's really important, and also picking and choosing who you work with.
That's extremely important, I think. You know what I mean? It's like what you're surrounded by. You're exactly right, man. A lot of people don't think about that.
I think it's like committing, like you said, to the right people, but yeah, like committing to certain artists, sticking with those artists while bringing on new artists and trying to bring them with you. You see, like what Root Fire and Ineffable did. Like they had like a certain group of artists that just kept getting bigger and bigger, and then they kind of supplemented in behind that. I feel like that's the sustainable model. Now, spiritually, I think that involves networking and being positive, not like cultivating good relationships, not ripping people off.
There you go.
Things, you know what I mean? Being
that
truly in it
reputation.
for the good of the people and the music, and unifying people rather than what can I get out of this? What can I get out of this? To me, that would be beautiful if we could make this sustainable by not even giving a shit if we could pay the bills.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing too. I think, you know, if you're in it for, you know, like you said, the right reasons too. You're not just money driven, but you know, you're just driven for the love and the passion. That's when it continues, because a lot of the stuff is transparent. I mean, people see through, people see through bullshit, but I also think the universe sees through bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's, those who are in it for the right reasons and in it for the love and in it to be in service of other people truly do progress. You know what I mean? They truly do.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful thing, because the Most High is, to me, being in service of others is the most important thing you can do on this earth, man. I really do. You know, I don't think there's anything more important than loving your neighbor and helping other people in any way, shape, or form that you possibly can. Right. So, are there artists or messages right now that remind you why you do this work?
Dude, Kabaka's talking every day.
There you go.
Kabaka says something good every day that reminds me, like, look, man, we got to eat either something based on unity or something anti-Babylon, something like that reminds me that, and then a lot of times it's just a song you hear and you're like, wow, yeah, this is amazing.
Right. Absolutely, man.
I've
How
been
about you?
listening. I've been listening a lot to Arise Roots.
There you go.
That whole vibe, like lately, it's just, but also the movement, because like Brandon said, it's
Yeah.
that balance between like rebellious, time to rebel or time to fall back and chill and love, and like both of those bands, Arise Roots and the movement, fit those. Also bands like Treehouse, man, because their message is
Yes,
super,
I love Treehouse. I had them on the
yeah.
podcast. They're great.
And like those are the
Shout out
type of
Jeremy
artists that that we try to align ourselves with, and and in return, like those people start to become our friends, and that's the biggest
Yes.
blessing of all that, is that we have artists, we have people in our phone, we get Merry Christmas text messages from Mighty Mystic or from the Space Camp, like that right there. That's what is payment for us.
That's beautiful. Have you heard the new the newer, I guess, track out with the movement and Ian Young, True Happiness, I believe is what it's called. It's amazing. Yeah, it's really
I'm not
good,
sure.
man.
Ian Young was one of the first artists, one of the first reggae artists
really?
I ever met.
He's great, man. Yeah,
He,
he-
song
he
with,
would-
he did that Mystery Babylon song with New Kingston. I love that song.
He was just on my podcast, and I went and saw him here in
Oh, really?
Orlando. It was a great
He
show.
was
It
in
was
Tribal
on the
Seeds?
17th. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
when I met him. We were at it was my wife and I's first show together. We went to see. It's almost 10 years ago. It was Tribal Seeds, Sublime with Rome, and Dirty Heads.
Nice.
in New Jersey, and Ian Young was out in the crowd, so I bought a CD off of him and got pictures.
Nice.
With him. That was the first reggae artist I ever met.
Tribal Seeds is a household name here. That is
Love Tribal Seeds.
collectively my wife and I's. When it comes to American roots, that's it. I mean, hands down.
Yeah.
It's to us. It does. And no offense to any other bands. I'm just saying, everybody's got their preferences. Like to us, it does not get any better than Tribal Seeds. It just doesn't.
Brandon and I have we just have the tribals. Go ahead, Brad. Tell them our Tribal Seeds memory. That's gonna be forever
we're
instilled in our
so this
brains.
was amazing. So first of all, you said my first reggae artist that I met was Mighty Mystic, and since
Nice.
then we've cultivated this relationship with Mighty Mystic where he took us out to Reggae Rise Up Arizona as his crew. So we're sitting on stage, and I had this selfie of me and Rich with the camera in front of us. We're sitting side stage for Tribal Seeds with 25,000 people out
That's
in front
great.
of us while they're singing Gunsmoke, which is like my favorite Tribal Seeds song.
Oh, that song's so dope.
And you
Yeah,
just
it's
look
like-
out there, and it's like you get goosebumps over
But-
your entire body.
But that is my second favorite memory from that weekend, dude. I swear I was backstage and my Mystic had already played. This was Saturday. Junior Gong was on that night. And I'm standing backstage. Mystic's over here signing the Arizona guitar or something. And I see this black SUV pull up. And then I see another black SUV pull up. I'm like,
Right.
I'm like, that's him. And then I see the door open, and then I see the dreads fall out, and I'm like, yo, that is him, dude.
That's
and then
awesome.
he starts walking back towards the RV area. This is all backstage. And I'm like, so I walk, I'm like, yo, what's up, brother? I'm like, respect, bless. And he gives me the respect, and we did one of these things. And then I turn around, and I'm like, no, I'm here with 12 people, and none of them saw this. That is crazy.
Right? That's usually how it always goes.
Damian Marley, who is like
Right.
my favorite reggae artist of all time, really.
That's
we
awesome.
got to rock out with Jesse Royal. Like that was
Yes.
a great weekend.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah, our song, me and my wife's song, straight up 100% is Dark Angel by Tribal Seeds, man. It's just,
awesome.
dude, you want to talk about goosebumps, man, every time. And just the bass guitar, their bass player is just so sick. But Steven Jacobo, his lyrics, he throws it down. But like I said, I was completely blown away when Hector Roots Lewis filled in, because we're like, you listen to a band and you're like, you could change a bass player or a drummer, but you're like the vocalist. It's like, how is this gonna go?
Right.
How is this gonna go? And it went fucking great, man.
He is awesome.
He did such a phenomenal job, dude.
Yeah.
We were just, I was floored. I was like, holy shit.
He's
and he
so
didn't try.
talented in so
Yeah.
many ways.
And he didn't try to, some other vocalists will try to sound like the guy they're
Right.
covering, you know what I mean? Didn't even try, just did it himself. And I was like, damn it, man. Fits so perfectly.
So perfect. Yep.
It was, yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
The production.
Yeah, just everything. It was absolutely beautiful. So, now, for both of you guys, this is a great question. If reggae had one message that it needed to help people, or basically, if reggae had one message to help people that the people need to truly hear right now, what would it be?
We're all in this together.
Yeah,
Amen.
unity.
I like
Trust the feeling that the music gives you. Like, trust that feeling, because that feeling in that moment is really real. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not outside driven. When you put reggae music on, that feeling, you trust that feeling, and that's unity. That, you know what I mean? When everybody is in
yes.
that moment, it's just trust that.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, and that's my favorite thing at any reggae show, especially with the like the build up. So there's a local band I used to play in, not local. They're local to South Florida. They're called Vibes Farm. But he's a real good way of Tyler Giddens has a real good way of just crushing the lead guitar, real heavy intros. And then it's da na 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 chink chink, and when it goes into that skank, it's like everyone's like yeah. It's that. Man, like you said, trust that feeling, because that is a feeling. It's not like it's there's more energy during that than like if there's a mosh pit at a death metal show and it's slowing down. I'm like, there's more energy when it slows down and goes into that groove, because everyone's like, it's almost like walking into a warm house in the snow. You just get that comfort. You're like, you know what I mean? That's why, absolutely, I love it so much. So, guys, where can we find you? Where can we keep up with your work? And not, I want to know, like, with what you're doing on a daily basis, because you definitely got a lot of shit going on. So just give us some places to find you, some websites, some social media links.
Well, right now our website is in the process of being revamped and done over, so we're just running off our social medias right now, which is
right
Rebel
on.
Sounds
That's
Rising,
perfect.
Rebel Sounds Rising LLC on Facebook, Instagram.
And this is Rebel Sounds with an S, not sound.
Yes,
Rebel
Rebel
Sounds
Sounds with an
Rising.
S.
Yeah. I made that mistake when I was trying to send you guys emails for the podcast, and I was like, neither one of your emails work. And I was like, oh, I'm a dumbass. I put sound. Yeah. And I know the name, but I was
More
just
than one
typing it. So
sound.
just make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
whole bunch
It's
of
all,
sounds.
Yes.
It's about that rebel music. and
That's
that
beautiful,
message.
man. It's absolutely fantastic.
Don't
Awesome.
forget to check out All My Friends Have Dreads too. We only
Yes.
have Facebook going right now. I don't know where else to launch. I mean, social media
Yeah,
is
there's a
so
word.
intimidating.
Yeah,
It really
it
can.
is.
Right.
With all the different
I'm-
platforms.
I'm gonna hire my
But
daughter, my
WTHC radio.
16-year-old daughter. I'm gonna hire my 16-year-old
right.
daughter to
right.
take over social medias.
She's
Yeah,
hot,
I feel
She's
you. It's
hot.
hard for me too, because I've got the podcast and I have like your personal ones and all that, but then I have the shows on WTHC radio. So I have Hippie-Fari Reggae Radio and Podcast, which is this one, but then I have the Hippie-Fari Rootscast, which is the live Hippie-Fari Rootscast live on WTHC, and then I'm like you said, do I start a whole nother Instagram and I was like, oh my god, I'm just gonna run it off of this one, because I'm like, there's no way I could keep. It's just impossible, dude. I couldn't keep up.
You could also go YouTube if you want to see recap videos and shorts of events we've put together or that we've been involved in. Rebel Sounds Rising on YouTube. We put our own, Brandon edits videos.
Beautiful.
And we got One Earth recap videos. We have our 420 recap videos. It's
Nice.
You watch those videos, it really gives you a sense of what an event with us is like.
Yes, that's beautiful. Hell yeah, man. Oh, Brandon, you edit videos. I might be talking to you here soon, buddy.
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
I'm gonna email you my phone number after this. Shoot me a text.
No, 100%, man. I would love that.
Yeah, same.
You guys are an absolute trip, man. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you on, man. I love not just, having bands on, you know what I mean? And, guitar, this is the backbone. This is the stuff that, gets the bands to the stage. These are the people that manage the artists. These are the people that keep the artists calm before the show and promise them everything's going to be okay and make it all beautiful, and that actually allows the artist to perform to their peak intensity. They have nothing to worry about when Rebels, groups like folks like Rebel Sons Rising is in charge, and that's so important, man. It's like it's the difference in walking outside naked and walking outside with clothes on. You guys put the clothes on; it's a beautiful thing. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Do you have any questions for me? Anything in closing?
I just want to thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
Dude.
Thank you, man.
What you're doing,
exactly.
And I look forward to building a relationship, a working relationship here. See how we can help each other grow.
Same.
I appreciate what you're doing, brother. Absolutely,
100%, man. Yeah, we love you guys to death. We're definitely going to be hosting your links on the www.hippie-Fari.com website. It's community. That's what it's all about, bro.
Right.
100%. So I would say that this conversation is proof that reggae isn't just stuck in the past. It's alive in the people building with intention today. So respect to Rich Wilson, a.k.a. Rebel Rich, and Brandon Kish of Rebel Sounds with an S, Rising, for carrying the sound, the message, and that boom, unity forward. And folks, I will always say there is strength in unity. Build your community. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Shoot me an email. info@hippie-Fari.com and check out our website, hippie-Fari.com. And catch me every Friday night on WTHC Radio, 8 p.m. till midnight for Reggae Frequency Fridays. The Hippie-Fari Roots Cast is from 8 to 9, followed by Word, Sound, Power, Conscious Reggae Radio from 9 to 12. That is a Hippie-Fari live broadcast, once again on WTHC. And this is Scotty, the high-strung hippie, and Kira, the Irie Empress. And I got to stop right here. Happy anniversary, baby. 9 years tomorrow. Woo-ha!
anniversary.
Congratulations. My wife and I celebrate 10 years February 8th.
Nice, man. Right on. Yeah, we're going to be celebrating 10 years of knowing each other, 9 years of being married. So that's pretty cool, man. Awesome. Hopefully she's as excited as I am. But we are reminding you to speak your mind before somebody else does it for you. And do something nice for somebody today. Grab flowers for your partner. Smoke out a stranger. Slip the homeless man a buck. But whatever you do, do it from the heart. Because all good things start with the heart. Peace, love, and Rasta rhythms are all a part of the reggae revolution. One love, fam. Rastafari.